Hi there, welcome back to Dolls Amok. It's been a while, but I have a fun unboxing for you today. I'm going to share my unboxing of two of the new historical outfits from American Girl for Melody and Nanea. I don't have Mary Ellen's, I don't currently plan to get hers, but I instantly fell in love with Melody's new outfit and Nanea's new outfit. Now, I don't have any historical characters in my collection at present, in my active collection, and I no longer have Melody or Nanea, but I do have some dolls that I think would look really beautiful in these outfits, and I think they are contemporary enough that I can kind of play with them and enjoy them without them being for the literal historical characters. So let's go! Okay, so these are the two outfits in their boxes. So this is Melody's box cover and this is Nanea's box cover. Let's get these open. I'm going to save my favorite, which is Melody's, for last, so we're going to start with Nanea's. I have a passion for jumpers. I think they're so fun and schoolgirlish and playful, so I just knew that I was going to have this outfit. And at first I thought I don't really have a doll with the Hawaiian flare, and then I realized I do. So there we go. Look at those beautiful colors. Okay, my first impression is just pretty. Pretty colors, pretty floral. In the pictures I've seen online, it looks more like aqua, but in person this is a lovely spring green. And I don't honestly think my camera is catching the true color of this. So there is the jumper looking so cute. So we have these little suspender straps, so adorable. Look at that. And it looks like there's little buttons to hook them in front. So I assume, if we look at the picture, well, actually it's not showing the buttons in the front. It's showing the pleats in the front. So that's interesting. I would think the buttons would be in the front because it's a decorative element. So I'm a little perplexed about that. It does have the seam in the side with the tag there. I'm going to put the buttons in front even though it's not showing in the cover, just because that looks right to me, and it is pleated all the way around, and that must be the front because that's the seam. And the little straps are going to cross in back. So we'll play with this. We'll make it work. There we go. And then I love that there's a white blouse. I feel like that's a really versatile piece and very useful. It's got these nice little puff sleeves, working buttons down the front. It's got the new cloth tag. Thank you, American Girl, for getting rid of those horrible plastic oval tags. I'm so glad we're past the days of the plastic tags and we're on to these more quiet, the rebrand star symbol in the corner. I can deal with that. That's nice. Then we get this awesome little necktie. I wish they would let you tie it yourself instead of assuming that you are so young and juvenile that you can't actually tie a knot. I mean, isn't this how we teach children skills? Like, whatever. Anyway, but it's a very cute element. And then we have these little shoes. They're very basic. They're not shiny. They're not fake patent. They are just sort of matte. Very simple with raw edges. They're not as nice as back in the days of, I would say, the mid-2000s historical outfits or the Be Forever outfits. We were getting much nicer shoes then, but at least they have the Mary Jane strap and they're not just ballet flats. So at least that's a step in the right direction. No pun intended. And then we get these nice little white socks in their package. Very small, very low profile white socks, which honestly seem a little modern to me. I feel like in the 40s they were wearing slightly taller socks that folded over, but I'm not a fashion expert. And then we get a little plastic barrette for her hair. I think green or pink would have paired a lot more nicely with the outfit, but again, it's nice to have a little extra accessory, so there's a little plastic barrette there. And then we get the pamphlet about Nanea. So I'm going to set all of that aside, and we are going to try on the outfits after I get the second one unboxed. So there we are. There are the pieces for the Nanea outfit. So I like the number of pieces. I think the colors are fantastic. I think the quality is comparable to the days of Be Forever, with the exception of the shoes, which I feel are slightly inferior. And now moving on to Melody's. So I love this outfit. I don't know if anybody else knows or remembers Hollywood musicals, but when I saw this outfit, I immediately thought of the very funky musical, I think it was mid-60s, Bye Bye Birdie. I think the musical was set in the 50s but was made in the 60s. But anyway, this outfit with the sweater and the little capri pants reminded me so much of the movie Bye Bye Birdie. And it's not like I have a huge affection for that movie, but it just sort of made me smile, and I love the colors. So pretty, so fun, so cute. So we knew this one was going to have to join our collection. So let's see. Again, my first impression is really pretty colors. Really nice, like large weave knit sweater with the kind of cowl neckline, which is interesting. It has this reverse knit stitch on the back. Really nice thick materials. Very sturdy. Love the colors. I love that they're not traditional American Girl colors, that they're branching out, and it does seem to really fit Melody's collection. I love Melody's collection. I love her outfits. I really loved her meat outfit, and this seems very true to the rest of her collection. Kudos to American Girl on that sweater. Very, very cute. And then we get our pink pants. I like that it's a pale pink. Now it is a very lightweight material. It's a twill of some kind. It does have the closure in the back. The little American Girl tag there in the back. And again, I'm just showing this is a rebranded tag, so it shows that the rebrand is happening with that star symbol. But it's actually nice. They're nicer. Quality is nicer than I was expecting. They have a little cute gap there on the sides of the hem. I don't know why it has this slight shine to it, but again, I'm not a fashion expert. Maybe that was a thing. Very cute. Then we get these, yes, they are ballet flats, but they have this cute little rope detail around them. Very cute. I like that. Sets them apart. Basic American Girl soul. So, really pretty colors. I like the rope detail. And then we do get a headband, which would look amazing in Melody's wonderful hair with her little flip. So there's the little booklet. You've probably seen that. So there we go. So now it is time to try these outfits on. Now I brought 2 dolls out. I have a couple dolls of color that I feel could suit these outfits and would be respectful of the intended heritage of these outfits, but I chose these 2 because they were just the dolls that immediately were top of the list. So this is Malia, who is a custom 112, Truly Me 112, customized by Oh Dear Custom Dolls. And she's a modern character, but I immediately thought with her little bangs, she actually has a lot of the look of Melody. I thought that would be adorable. Very cute. I love it. Love the fresh spring colors. It's actually kind of a tertiary grouping of colors, which is interesting because of the brown and this interesting kind of pinkish beige and this soft subdued peach. So it's not like a bright fresh palette of colors. It's a little bit more nuanced. I like that. And then this adorable jumper. I actually immediately thought of Eugenia because I got her after Moana came out, the Moana doll. She's kind of my answer. I prefer the Jess mold to the Corinne mold with the smaller eyes. I have trouble with Corinne's eyes being so incredibly large. Eugenia is kind of my Pacific Islander doll, and look at that. I mean, that's adorable. I'm going to try these on and be right back with you. All right, here we are. Here are the outfits. I thought I would share the details, let you know what I think of them, and kind of give a little mini review. So starting with Melody's Salon outfit. So I love the colors. I actually like the pants way better than I thought. When I first felt the fabric, I thought it felt a little chintzy, but I really like the sleekness. And I'm glad they chose a fabric that has a slight stiffness, so it holds up to that very sleek silhouette. I would say I only wish that the pants were just slightly thicker. A little, little nicer material would definitely bring it up a notch. But I really like the cut, the silhouette, how they fit. And again, that stiffness kind of gives it the look that they were going for. I think the sweater is perfect as far as colors. I love that it's chunky and it feels heavy. It makes me feel like I didn't just waste my money, so I really appreciate that. I do want to point out that the hem stitching is completely crooked, so I think that construction-wise, this could really be improved. I don't know if that's showing, but that is not a straight hem stitching. I get much better work off of Etsy for much lower price. So hello, American Girl, let's work on that. And I would say for me, I prefer a turtleneck to a cowl neck. To me, cowls have a very limited appeal. So I would have really preferred if they had simplified the silhouette a little bit with a basic turtleneck. I think that would have made it a little bit more, to me, aesthetically pleasing. But I love the colors. I love the pattern. So, you know, no big beef there. And then I think the idea, the concept of the headband is adorable. I think the headband's super cute. I love that it's thick, and both thick in kind of diameter or width as well as dimension, if I'm saying that right. So my only beef with the headband is I wish it was a satin. This should have been cloth over plastic rather than just plastic. Again, that really brings the overall impression and quality of the outfit down a notch, that this is just a solid piece of plastic. It should have been some fabric over that, I think. And then I will say that my only real issue with the outfit when I was putting on was the shoes. Again, I am not a person who struggles with American Girl shoes. I've had hundreds of American Girl shoes and put on shoes hundreds and hundreds of times. However, these shoes, though they look very cute and they definitely look adorable with the outfit, are an inferior quality material, and they're thin enough that this heel of the left one kept folding under the foot, and it's so tight that I had a really hard time getting it out to go around the back of the foot. This is an issue we've had with American Girl dolls shoes at different times in the past. I would say that, you know, this is not a new issue. I didn't have any trouble with this one. Actually, I should say I got that wrong. The left one went on fine. It's the right one I had so much trouble with. And this was just folding and buckling. So as I take these on and off, and as a child especially would be taking these on and off and having trouble with this material is going to get wrinkled and degrade really quickly from that pressure of trying to pull it over the heel. A stiffer material and a slightly better fit would have avoided that. So they could definitely bring that up a notch. So overall, I would say outfit concept is A+. I think it's absolutely adorable. Outfit execution, I would put maybe at a B. It could definitely be worse, but it could be improved in several different ways. The real detraction for me, again, is the shoes and the headband. For me, the style of the sweater is, you know, an A-. I would love to have this be a turtleneck, something a little bit more versatile, even a crew. I'm just not crazy about the cowl, but it's fine. It's adorable. And again, the pants, I love the concept. I love the silhouette. I love the cut. I just wish that the fabric was a little bit thicker, a little bit nicer. So there you go. So I give this outfit a B. Very cute, very happy to have it in my collection. I will be careful with the shoes. I just warn you, and especially for children playing with this outfit, that those shoes could go south really quickly. A little shoehorn, a little piece of plastic, a little, you know, soft butter knife, something to help get those over the heel will help with that. So for Nanea's volunteer outfit, here we are. Super adorable. Let's look at that as a whole, from the shoes to the little barrette in the hair. So I'm going to give you a little review of my thoughts of this outfit as well. I would say, like I said, for me the shoes are the weakness of the outfit. The shoes and the socks. The socks are too modern. I feel like they needed to go taller and thicker and have them fold over. They've done that in the past for some Be Forever and pre-Be Forever socks in Molly's line and in Mary Ellen's collection. They needed to do that with these. So I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out. For the shoes, I like the concept. Very cute. I like that they gave them straps. They're not just plain Janes, but they gave them a little bit of interest. But again, the material is thin. It is not up to the standard of American Girl shoes from the past. I think they would have been so much cuter if they were like a shiny patent leather and a thicker material with a rounded over edging. I don't know if you can see that, but this is simply a raw edge. This is just the material being cut and then stitched to keep it from fraying, and it would be so much nicer if they followed the pattern of their construction of shoes from, say, I don't know, 8-10 years ago. In the back, you can see that these seams don't even match in height. So again, construction of the shoes, I would see for the shoes alone is maybe C grade at best. For the outfit, I think the fabric is fabulous. It's lightweight. It feels very summery. It feels tropical. The print colors are gorgeous. I love the print with the florals. It definitely has, to me, kind of a tropical Hawaiian look. I love that they're not doing plastic tags and they're just doing the little fabric tag now on the side. Super cute. I love the little decorative buttons. Again, to bring it up a notch, I would say these should be working buttons so that the child or adult can pull the straps over and hook them through buttonholes here themselves. And let me see, it could be my mistake. Did I make a mistake and did I not see that? Are they working buttons? I thought I saw that it was stitched through. And I just want to see, if I'm being an idiot, I will admit to that. Yes. Okay, my mistake. I was being an idiot. They are working buttons with working buttonholes. I didn't see that. That really simplifies putting this on. I actually had some trouble pulling this on without detaching those because it's like you have to slide it up and the crosses are, the straps are crossing in back and it just is confusing. So that was my mistake. That was my bad. So no problem with that. I take away my criticism there. So I have no problem with the jumper. That's adorable. It is perfect. And let's show you the fit in back. The straps are crossing a little funny. They should have been sewed at an angle so that they don't do that little fold. Can you see that? So again, construction issues from American Girl. They're gapping because of how they're sewed in. They should be sewed in an angle. That is their mistake. But that was my mistake about the not realizing these were working buttons in the front. So I take that all back. The blouse is lovely, really cute, really nice construction. I love that it has working buttons. Thank you, American Girl. Yes, girls ages 8 and up, 6 and up, we can handle buttons. Thank you. So I think that's awesome. I would have liked it if the material for the blouse had a little bit more of a shine and was a little thicker. It is actually a little bit see-through. You can't tell here, but I can see her underwear. Now her underwear have a bright, bold pattern, but I can see the underwear through the shirt. So it would be nice if that shirt material was a little higher quality, but no big issues there. And then just a last few couple of comments on the tie. Again, I feel like American Girl, we don't need to do these ties with Velcros in the back. It would be so much more fun and honestly less construction in the factory for them to just make a strip of material and include with the outfit a little set of instructions about how to tie it in a historically appropriate manner. I think that would be more educational. I would learn how to tie a tie, and I think it would actually sit nicer on the doll. The way they've done it, since this is pre-made and you have to just like put it on, this piece of fabric here doesn't want to lie flat, and if I get this one to lie flat, this one doesn't want to lie flat. So like if I turn this so that this one is flat, then that one's twisted. So it just doesn't want to sit like as nicely as I want to make it sit. It's a very small detail, but honestly, it's the little things that bring an outfit up to the next level. So I would have liked it if they had just let me tie it. I could tie it the way that I wanted to, again, with some instructions. That would be really cool. Then we could all learn how to tie ties the way they tied them in the 40s or whatever. And less Velcro in the world is a good thing, I think, in my opinion. So that's how I feel about that. And then the little plastic barrette is like a 5-cent throw-in. If they had made it a coordinating color, that was like a pink or a green, that would definitely earn more points from me, but just the white kind of tossed in, not really doing anything for me for this outfit. So I would say I give this outfit a, grade-wise, a B+ or an A-, somewhere in there. I love the concept. I love the look. I love the aesthetic. It's all in the details. So maybe an A-, again, with better shoes, B+, somewhere in there. It's about on a par for me with Melody's as far as the success of the outfit. This is just me being really picky, because, you know, I'm paying good money that I work hard for to buy these things, and I have been collecting from American Girl for almost 20 years. So I have the power of comparison with some of the things that they've made in the past, and I know what they've been capable of in the past. So there you are. I think these outfits are adorable. I'm really going to enjoy having them, even though I don't have the historical characters that they are intended for in my collection. I have several dolls, like I said, who will enjoy them. I will enjoy kind of cycling this outfit through my black dolls in my collection, and I think this outfit is really cute for anybody that wants to kind of dress up with that schoolgirl vibe and maybe take a little vacation and spend some imaginary time in the tropical islands. So I think that's really fun as well. So thanks for joining me today. Let me know in the comments, did you get these outfits? Did you get Mary Ellen's outfit? Which is your favorite from the historical release? And do you plan to get these outfits? What grade would you give them? Do you agree with my review? Your thoughts, opinions? I'm very interested. Again, I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions as a longtime American Girl collector. So there's nothing definitive about what I'm saying, and I may well change my mind in the future. This is just how I feel at this current moment in time. Thanks so much. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're playing with your dolls. Bye.